My name is Cameron Suey, and I'm an assistant producer on Star Wars The Force Unleashed 2. In the first Force Unleashed, we introduced the world to Starkiller, who's Darth Vader's secret apprentice. And while he started off being an agent of Darth Vader, hunting down the last Jedi after Order 66, he eventually ended up redeeming himself by forming the Rebel Alliance and then sacrificing himself to protect it.
Well, with The Force Unleashed 2, what we've done is we're telling a new story about Starkiller's clone, set just after the ending of the last game, as Starkiller was presumably left for dead, and this clone has memories of the first game of Starkiller, even though they're not his own. And he's on the run from Darth Vader after he escapes from the cloning facility on Kamino.
What happened? Where is he?
In terms of the gameplay, we've really gone back and iterated on the things that we wanted to improve and touch on in the game: the targeting system, the camera, the enemy AI, the boss battles, the combat, the graphics, everything we've just really taken to the next level for the sequel.
And we've revamped the combat by adding another lightsaber to it. Now it's a dual-wielding lightsaber style that we had to reinvent a lot of the combat, and it's a lot more quick, a lot more graceful, a lot more acrobatic. But it was a lot of fun, actually, because we get to rebuild all those combos and build that new fighting style. There's a couple of new Force powers. One of them is Jedi Mind Trick, and just like all the other Force powers in the game are sort of re-envisioned to be their unleashed versions, Jedi Mind Trick is our unleashed version of Mind Trick. At the lowest levels, it turns enemies against each other, causes them to fight each other. Then later, they'll actually start throwing themselves into harm's way. You'll see them jump off bridges or leap into spinning fans or into other sort of environmental hazards. And at the highest level, they'll actually get so charged up with the Force, they'll go running into their own lines, and then they'll detonate like a living smart bomb. And then in addition to that, there's Force Fury, which is actually a whole new gameplay mode. You'll build up your Force Fury meter over time, and then you'll be able to trigger it for a short period. And that gives you this very brief but very, very powerful upgrade to all your Force powers. So challenge mode is something that's separate from the main storyline of the game. It's a sort of a way to get little bite-sized snack versions of the gameplay as opposed to the main meal of the story. We build these levels that are very specific navigational or combat challenges using the same gameplay mechanics as the main game, but in a very different way, where you really have to be very precise and you're playing against the rest of the world to get the best times on leaderboards and on scoreboards and really get the bragging rights of getting that low time. And it's all very precise and very arcadey and very sort of classic gameplay.
We absolutely take sounds from the original films. In fact, the sound of a lightsaber, sound is a very funny thing because people respond to them emotionally. It's the same with, oh, I remember that movie and that cool moment when that lightsaber came out and it made that amazing sound, and then the TIE fighter exploded and all that sort of stuff. You've got to have those in there. And we've made our own versions, and in fact we sometimes augment them but never replace them. It's just, if you just had those, the flip side of that coin is that people would get sick of them, and those sounds have been around forever. But if you just pepper them in there and you just make sure that it's reminiscent of the license in the perfect way, then people just go, oh, I am in Star Wars. I'm playing Star Wars, and that's the goal.
Let go of everything you fear to lose. You must.
It's not so much difficult it's a challenge to be able to please Star Wars fans, because obviously that's who we're making the game for. So we definitely listened to a lot of the feedback from the first game, and we really wanted to make sure that the story made sense in the greater context of Star Wars.
You have to have the hero's journey. You have to have a great story. It has to be epic. It has to be something that's really big. It can't be the sort of thing that's tossed away to the side. It has to be innovative. It has to be something that people haven't experienced before. And it has to be of good quality. It has to be beautiful, in terms of great visuals, great sound, because that's what we grew up with, that's what we experienced, and that's what kids who are being introduced to Star Wars today are also experiencing with the Clone Wars and hopefully with The Force Unleashed.
So my name is Cameron Suey. I'm working on Star Wars The Force Unleashed. I'm an assistant producer, and the game will be released across Europe on October the 29th.